Hey guys, so today I'm just going to show you our pasteurization process. So one thing that makes our ice cream different from other ice creams that are sold and made in the Seattle area is that we have this pasteurizer. And so we're not just under health department, but we're also under Washington State Dairy and Agriculture Department. It might be boring, but kind of like geeking out about ice cream. There's like the science behind the ice cream is very interesting. So I put together the spout, and I'm gonna give it a quick rinse before we actually load up the pasteurizer and start. I have some Sterashine water here. Probably the smallest vat pasteurizer that commercially that you can buy. It's a 15-gallon one. How a vat pasteurizer works is there's a jacket in here, and inside the jacket is water, water, and so this machine, Anderson chart recorder, it tells the water in the jacket to heat up and then to cool down depending on how the thermometers are reading. A lot of people pass by this window and ask, oh, is that like a seismograph? And no, it measures temperature over time. Okay, so I'm going to start measuring out the sugar and powdered milk. The egg has already been measured out, and I got all the dairy we need, so we're going to put in all of these. I already got one full bag of organic sugar that we're going to use set over there, and one full bag of powder, non-fat milk powder is already set, so I'm going to measure the other portions. So that's the extra sugar. And now for the milk powder. Hi, Zephyr! I have a helper today. Zephyr, do you want to come help? Hello! Did you wash your hands? Can you wash your hands? Milk powder portion ready. Got the egg yolks ready. So the pasteurization process that we use at our shop is called the vat pasteurization process. It's a longer process. It's not done continuously like a lot of the other types of pasteurization, such as high temperature, short time pasteurization, or ultra high temperature pasteurization. Those are all done like in like these long tubes, and you just pass the dairy by and it like flash pasteurizes it. But we do it the old school method, which is a vat pasteurization. It's basically a pot, and you continuously stir it. Hello. And then and yeah, so it pasteurizes. It's basically, pasteurization is basically cooking it, but without changing the chemical compounds of what you're cooking. So when you're cooking something, you're actually breaking down everything and then forming a new food. So it's like a chemical process. But pasteurization passes like we use 160 Fahrenheit to pasteurize our dairy, our ice cream base over 30-minute period. The minimum required is 155 degrees to make ice cream base. There's all these rules, but we found that 160 degrees for 30 minutes produces a really like a caramel. It caramelizes the lactose and the sugar in the ice cream base, and it just makes a really smooth, clean tasting sweet cream ice cream. And so that's why we're going to do it. We also don't use any emulsifiers other than egg yolks. So this is about 2,000 grams of egg yolks, and using egg yolks as an emulsifier means that we're using a French custard method of making ice cream base. There's a lot of different kinds of emulsifiers out there. There's xanthan gum, there's locust bean gum, there's gelatin, carrageenan, pectin. There's a lot of different kinds of emulsifiers out in the world, but we choose to use egg yolks. It matches very well with dairy, and it makes a delicious custard base. And yeah, that's what we're going for, and that's what we're making today. I'm gonna put the milk in first so that the sugar and milk powder can be absorbed into milk, because milk has more liquid content. We use local organic milk from Smith Brother Farms. We did think about getting a different type of milk. Twin Brook Farm has amazing milk, and we were talking with them to get some unpasteurized raw milk from them. But they do a cream top milk, so we needed to come up with our whole formula needed to be changed, because their milk also had 5% milk fat, because they have Jersey cows. Instead of most dairy places have a mix of Holstein and Jersey, and so the percentage of milk fat that is produced is different by what type of cows the farm has. It's slippery, watch out. Try to put in the milk powder and sugar interchangeably, because milk powder doesn't like sugar, doesn't absorb into liquid that well, but sugar is water soluble, so hopefully that while the sugar is getting absorbed into the milk, it'll take some of the milk powder with it. Back in the days when we first made ice cream, I used to bring my older kid to shop with me all the time at like 5, and then whenever I'm putting the milk powder in, it'll like bloom up into like a smoke, and they would always say that it's like the cauldron is smoking. Before we put the yolks in, you do want to make sure that all the yolks are kind of broken, just because we've actually pasteurized the whole yolk before. Like the whole thing stayed as one. And now we put in the cream.
I'm a weakling.
You're weakling.
Okay, I'm just gonna do one at a time. Oh, he's doing a workout. My OP strategy.
Thank you.
Okay.
After the lid is closed, I already turned the machine on when we were putting the milk in. We need to plug in the airspace to make sure that the agitator is turned on to the right setting. This is the indicating thermometer. It is a long one that goes in all the way to the product. And I always like to have that closer to me while I'm churning ice cream right next to it. And then this is the airspace thermometer, which is short. The airspace above the what we're pasteurizing always needs to be at least 5 degrees hotter, so that it doesn't form the skin and no bacterial growth can happen on top of it. So currently our product is at 82 degrees. We need to wait until that becomes 160, and then we'll start the timer and start the pasteurization process. You can see here we go for 30 minutes. We record what time the 30 minutes starts and what temperature of the indicating thermometer, which is IT, is, and what temperature the airspace thermometer is reading at. And then we end the 30-minute pasteurization and we cool it as fast as we can. Okay, so we've been waiting for the temperature to reach 160. It just reached beyond 160. So now we're going to start recording the time to 30 minutes. Start of 30 minutes. On the chart, I'm going to record that we are starting 30 minutes. It's 11:26. And we are pasteurizing a sweet cream base. Today is February 19th, and I am the one pasteurizing, so I put my initials down. We also need to, at the 30, write what temperature it is. Indicating thermometer is 160.1. Airspace thermometer is 168.6. It's very challenging to write on. So it's been 30 minutes. Now I'm going to take the airspace heater out. And I'm going to turn the heating element off. So when you see it blinking, it's off. Then I'm going to drain initial round of water so that I can get some fresh tap water into the jacket. I'm going to open the window a little just so we can get some fresh air going. And then I'm going to start the chiller. Agitation off. This off. Okay, so you want to try a little bit of the French custard we make? That is the base of our ice cream. There's a sweet cream before we make it into anything, but this is the ice cream. If we aerate this
before it becomes ice cream.
How is it?
And tastes like ice cream.
Tastes like sweet.
It tastes like fresh
sweet,
ice.
like eggnog, right? Almost.
Yeah.
It's like an eggnog. It's basically what it is. Makes a great creamer.